Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're back on the dev server to have a look at the new high echelon vehicle available for Germany in the aviation department. Of course, this is the MiG-29. This is very similar to the USSR MiG-29 that was found last update in the game. So now Germany has a competitor at the higher echelons, along with pretty much everybody else who either has F-16s or, of course, the MiG-29. Aviation-wise, the MiG-29 is after the MiG-23. Not really a surprise there at all. It would be more surprising if it was somewhere else when it comes to the tech tree, and it just adds to that rank 8 area for, of course, the Germans. From the outlook, this vehicle is incredibly similar to the Soviet MiG-29. Basically will perform exactly the same, no difference in its overall capabilities, at least when it comes to air-to-air stuff. It is powered by the Klee MOV RD-33s, which gives it 6,820 kgf of afterburning thrust. You also have the Pilot, which has CCIP and CCRP for pretty much everything you would want. CCRP for even cannons, surprisingly, on the vehicle itself. Then also you have the radar model, which of course is a very good one as well. It can pretty much do whatever you want once again. It even has the good old HMD for the Pilot, just like the MiG-29A does. The armament, or the primary armament that's sat on the vehicle, is a 30mm GSH-31. This one with 150 rounds of ammunition. Does have a really nice sound to it. If you haven't heard of it, definitely worth it. But the main thing about this vehicle is, of course, its secondary armaments. So the vehicle has access to R60MK stock. Then you can get the R27ER1s, which are, of course, the crazy missiles, along with the 27R1s. Then the T1s, which are the IR ones, which I personally prefer. Then also the standard R60MKs and the R60s, which turn up as well. You also have bombs in the form of standard bombs and also with fire bombs, which is quite nice. They've also changed some of the look of some of the bombs, as you can see. Got themselves a little bit of a makeover. You have a drop tank as well. You have rockets that you can bring along. The big old S-24Bs make a return on this vehicle as well, and all of that good stuff. So nice to see on all of that. So this vehicle is basically coming in as just the same as the Soviet MiG-29. If you enjoy the Soviet one, you'll probably enjoy this one. If you don't enjoy it, then you won't enjoy this. Its capabilities in the ground, I don't think, are going to make too much of a difference. It's very much more of an superiority fighter when it comes to the actual game itself. But I will say the GDR skin that this has is a really nice skin for East Germany. The quad color, I suppose it is, I think is really good. It doesn't have a cockpit yet, which is surprising, because it should basically just be the same cockpit. But yeah, just to show you the HMD stuff, you can see here that it has it, so you can track the target and go off somewhere. So yeah, there's no functional difference between this and the other vehicle that's about. The radar itself is super strong. It has TWS PD HDN, and then TWS HDN if you want, and then just search PD standard. So it's going to be pretty nice overall to use. And then of course you have the good old R27Ts if you want to use them. And from what I understand, the larger missiles that this thing has, they're just the export versions of the ones which the standard MiG-29 has. So very similar to how you have the R60M and the R60MK, where they're basically just a copy of each other, just one's made for export. It's the same with the larger missiles on this thing. So the performance will be the same on them compared to the ones in the MiG. And of course the drop tank as well, that you can get rid of at any point. So yeah, it's one of those vehicles that, depending on how the USSR MiG's doing, depends on how well this one's doing. The way that the matchmaker works nowadays in War Thunder basically everybody faces everybody at the higher echelons. Oh, I should mention it does have countermeasures. It's got 60 large countermeasures. So that's something to look forward to. But yeah, the most ways that that stuff like that works nowadays is everybody just gets thrown into a pot and fights each other, and then whoever's dominant basically fights everybody else. So America usually fights everybody else. So top tier is just a case of F-16s versus F-16s versus good old MiGs, and then just kind of going from there. I don't think the vehicle is really going to revolutionize the meta or anything like that. Like it's basically just the same as what we've seen before, but this is kind of what always happens with Germany, where they, get a lot of the stuff either the same patch or previous patches because of the fact that they are, well, until more recently, they were more, I don't want to say puppet states because that's not really the right word, but you understand what I mean. Like they were states not within themselves, like they were controlled by others before they became what would be classed as independent. The missiles themselves obviously still do wonders. They're still able to crack everything. The R60s, just as a general rule, will work very well, especially the all-aspect ones. They did change the cone, by the way, if you didn't see it there. You can see that where you can move around the aimer, so it's easier to track people as you go, if you want to, and yeah, so it still is powerful and still will be very good. The only question is it as good as the F-16s? And does it really matter, since it's definitely better than the vehicles that that Germany had access to previously? So yeah, it's nice to see. I'm hoping that with this, people will be happy, because I don't know if there is a vehicle that they can add to Germany which would kind of put them ahead of the other two major nations, like good old America and also, of course, the USSR. Not yet, anyway. We obviously already had the Tornado, which was nice to see, but now it's time for this one. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Millie Draper, Juan the Panda, Nick R. Kupila, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Merciless Reaper, Orange Tail, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Moxie B. Young, Peter Grayling, Jerry Provolt, Bareen, Alan Hacker, Sem Arslan, Uncle Bean, Derek R., and Lafouche for supporting the channel.